Good morning, all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Good morning, all. Today we are here for a special session on Java. It's actually a refresher course, and for this session, we have with us Mr. Prashant Malviya. He is a senior architect at TCS, and thanks, Prashant, for joining us. He has 14 plus years of experience. Current role is program director and worked on multiple projects having domain of house automation, retail, telecom, talent development and procurement. Also, he has worked on multiple roles as enterprise architect, client partner. He loves to share his knowledge and objective is to contribute to world, which can be uplift life standard. He is actually for you people, youth of this country. His hobbies include playing cricket and reading nutritious topic. So, welcome, Prashant.
Yeah, thank you, Chandan. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's over to you now.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. So, good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate you all. You have selected IT stream to start your future career, because I believe if you compare this IT career to any stream, I mean any work in this IT industry, so that will give you a pride, because whatever the solution you are going to build, then I mean nowadays if you see any industry, there is no industry that is not utilizing the latest technologies, that is not utilizing this information technologies, softwares. And software can be of anything, like you see the mobile revolution that has happened in past. And then you use so many mobile app. You just suppose of a scenario when we were making the queue in the railways platform for taking the ticket. Nowadays you can book all the tickets from the IRCTC. Similarly, if you want to book ticket of movies, if you want to travel ticket for from the by air as well, by rail as well, right? So you can do everything from your mobile. So I mean, this IT industries has given a kind of wings to all the industries as a kind of revolution, and to expand and make it more scalable, and also to earn more profitable business. And not only earning the more profitable business, but it will also provide the kind of easiness or a kind of better user experience to everyone, right? So just wanted to know, I mean, everyone is from IT background, or I mean, IT stream, or like computer science, or some other streams are also there, electronics, mechanical, anything else?
Yeah, IT, computers, and electronics, EXC.
Electron. Okay, fine, fine. So, I know, everyone would have definitely heard about this Java programming language, and nowadays, as Python is becoming more popular, and you might have heard about Scala and other related things like cloud, AI, everywhere. So, it is important for me to let you know the importance of Java first, because see, if you compare this Java programming language to .NET or Python or JavaScript or any programming language, I mean, it's been there for more than a decade, right? And you talk about any solution, that either that is desktop-based application, either that is web application, either that is mobile-based application, either you'll have to provide the deploy the solution on cloud, and you need to create so many platforms. You need to run your solution on multiple operating system. And I mean, everywhere, any solution that you talk about, and including artificial intelligence, so that solution you can build on Java. And this kind of diversity and this kind of platform independence, I believe no other language provide. And that is the reason Java become more popular, and Java is still stable. And not only this, platform independent way, or delivering the solution for any problem or any requirement, it is also more stable, more secure, and from performance oriented, it is also very good. Fine. So I believe this will help you. This whatever the session I am going to provide you, maybe in 2 days. So this will all will help you to understand more important topics with respect to Java. You would be able to do a lots of hands-on, and also not able to do lots of hands-on, but also you will be able to crack the interviews. You will be able to serve better in IT industry, whatever you are going to join in the future. So let us start, like, first to understand what is actually Java, and I mean why you should learn Java. So, before I start, I just wanted to know from you all, do you all, understand the importance of Java, or do you see how Java, or it is totally new, or maybe you are inclined toward learning any other language, and now you are just wanted to explore the Java. So, just wanted to know your all views. Anyone, if you would like to pitch in, please.
They had Java in third semester,
Okay.
and in fourth semester they had Python, and
Mhm.
from then on, Python and JS stack.
Okay. Okay, fine. So, anything related to Java, if anyone would like to share me, so that I'll just understand what is the basic knowledge that you are having, or maybe advanced knowledge you are having. Is there anyone who has created any single program in Java language ever? No one? So it is totally new to everyone, right? Yes or no, anyone can share. Otherwise,
Yes, the basics program we have written.
basic program you have written. Okay, fine. Okay. So, I'm also going to start from the basic only, but would like to let you all know, like, even though many people says, like, I have done a basic programming of Java, like, like public static void main everything, but still there, the concept everyone need to understand why it runs in such a way. So I'll start from basic only, but it will clear your concept with respect to Java. So first of all, as I told you, like, this Java, it is everywhere. You want to create desktop application, you want to create web application, enterprise applications such as banking, finance application, mobile based application. If you want to create embedded system, smart card, robotic games, everywhere, any solution you can build from Java, and that is the only reason Java is very much popular. Okay, so it was is it was starting. It was developed by the James Gosling, who is known as the father of Java. It started in 1995. So its first name was Oak, but later how it got changed to Java because he was fond of this Java coffee bean. He was taking a lot of coffees, and he was fond of this Java Iceland where the coffee was coming. So that's how he changed that name to Java, and it was developed in Sun Microsystem, which is now actually a subsidiary of Oracle. So that is the reason it is now called as Oracle Java. Earlier you might have heard Sun Microsystem Java. Okay, so also it is not a programming language only, but it is a full platform. So that's what you're understanding, that you will understand in some time why I'm not calling it as a programming language but a full platform. Okay, so I just wanted to know, anyone aware of this embedded system? What is embedded system? Because I know desktop application you can correlate, like Acrobat Reader, MS Office, antivirus application, right? In web application also you see so many blogs, IRCTC site, travel site, booking site, no, everywhere part of web application. Enterprise application means, I mean, banking, finance application. A big organization who all are serving as a product. Mobile based application you can understand, like mobile apps, right? Embedded system. Anyone aware of that? What is embedded system? No one? Okay, so embedded system, like, you see in traffic signal, red, green, blue signal comes, right? And you see panel or chips. You see the TV. Older TVs, not a smart TV as of now, or you see the calculator. So those all are called as the embedded system. Okay, so that you can understand, and most of the time C++ language is more popular in this embedded system because it is specific to one single platform, and uh, it won't go as an kind of server kind of thing. So But Java also, I mean, solution are being built wherever, and if suppose, you need to create a dish TV panel, right? And that will go to multiple houses, and you want a consistency. So then you will prefer the Java, right? And similarly, like for smart card, robotics, games everywhere, you can create using the Java. Fine. And so, I mean, if I'll talk about the number game, so I mean, still today Java is being treated as a number one programming language. However, in some surveys you will see Python is gaining the popularity. So I'll let you know why Python is gaining the popularity. See, and why you should. I mean, I always prefer you should be starting the career with Java, because Java is a kind of intermediary language which will help you to not only make the base for C++, but also make a good exposure towards the Python, because Python is such a high language. I mean, you need to do any coding, you will get a library for that, and you just call the simple command of that particular library and your job is done. You won't get to know like how it is actually being implemented. And in C++, it is specific to hardware, so you will get to know how this machine programming language, whatever the conversion is going to happen, how, I mean, deep it can happen. You can do your memory management at your, I mean, if you are very good at memory management kind of thing with respect to hardware, that also you can manipulate over there. However, sometimes it create lot of problem, because I mean, how computers and how hardwares are going to perform, that nobody can guarantee. So that's how Java, I mean, give you a good exposure over there, because in Java memory management happen through the Java virtual machine only. You will just give command or you won't give command, if everything is being taken care itself by the Java virtual machine. Okay. And with respect to libraries also, it is not such a high advanced level, like you would just call a single command and then your job is done. You won't know how it is being implemented. Okay, so you want to do some configuration from your side only, right, to run in a such a specific way, so that in the future also if requirement get changed, you should be able to manipulate that, you should be able to enhance that feature, you should be able to configure that feature. So that's how Java will give you flexibility. Okay, so that is the reason I always prefer, yeah, like everyone should start the career with Java. Once you are comfortable in Java, because you can create anything with Java, and then and anyhow it will be easy for you to learn any programming language. Even though .NET C Sharp is total replica of Java only. I mean, C Sharp came later only, but its job was to just replicate the Java related things. However, it does not become the platform independent, because it is only specific to Windows operating system. Fine. So I mean, everyone is able to understand the importance of Java language and why you should be learning the Java. And if you see today, Java is everywhere, as I told you, even for running any enterprise application. If you talk about any telecom domain, banking, finance application domain, right, any big organization that you see in all over the world, they will always prefer Java programming language to build their ecosystem. Ecosystem means, I mean, any solution nowadays, if you're trying to build, it should not only run on desktop application, it should not only run on web application, it should not only run on mobile based application, it should be everywhere, right? So I mean, you just do one kind of coding and it is applicable for every solution. So you create so many APIs in the Java programming language, and there are so many lots of server. If I talk about creating the APIs or web application, enterprise application, and you talk about the servers to host that, I mean, you will try to find out on the Google, there will be 50 plus application server and web server for Java. However, there will be only 2 or 3 server for any other programming language. Okay, so that's also give you a lot of flexibility with respect to cost saving, cost optimization. From the management point of view also, you are not dependent on single vendor, you get flexibility to move to other vendors as well. Fine. So I mean, there are 9 million, more than 9 million Java developers nowadays. So it makes your competition high also, because that is how, yeah, like you when you go to IT industry, you should not only go with basic knowledge only, right? You should be having some advanced knowledge with respect to Java, because there are already so many Java developers are there, and so many, I mean, sources are there to learn the Java programming language, where everyone is expecting you to at least know more than basic. So that's what I will also request you to do, more and more hands-on, gain more and more knowledge on the Java. And I believe after this session, you will be able to have a really good knowledge, good basic knowledge with respect to Java. So I mean, as I told you, like in 1992, it was started creating I mean, James Gosling started working on that, and then in 1995 it was officially launched by the Sun Microsystem. From the 2010, it is known as Oracle Java. And I would also like to let you all know, like, Oracle Java 8 is commercial. Okay, it is license based. So I mean, what has happened after Java 8? If you want to use Oracle Java 8, then you'll have to take license. So in parallel, one other organization is also there, which is known as OpenJDK. So OpenJDK also started creating the Java 8 and more packages. So that you can use as a free license for your development, or maybe for launching your commercial solution as well. So before Java 8, you can see, I mean, you can use any Oracle Java version or Sun Microsystem version. But after if you want to use any Java 8 or upper version of Java 8, then you prefer OpenJDK only. Don't prefer Oracle one, because then you'll have to take the license. Okay, it is approximate 2400, I believe, per desktop. Okay, so I mean, that's what for your knowledge only, um, so that you also take care. And also I would like to let you know, I mean, if you are understanding Java, it is important for you to understand main features of Java 5, Java 8, and I mean, latest version, whatever is going on as of now. Like Java 15 is more popular, but Java 5 and Java 8, I mean, the features that has come in Java, they are very much important, because that has changed the way we are doing the development. Fine. So Java 5 features and Java 8 feature you must go through. I mean, there were more features in Java 5, however, very less feature in Java 8. But that is with respect to making the pace in nowadays in the industry. See, suppose in Java 8, the kind of changes are have come. I would like to let you know, maybe if you are creating 100 line of code, that can be reduced to 10 line of code. Fine. So the way we are working in Python as well. So Java is evolving itself also. So it has already evolved. So Java knows nowadays so many multi-processors are there, right? I mean, even in the mobile also you prefer a quad processor. So if you want to utilize the best of processor, like, so I mean, using the higher language programming language, how you can make it possible? That's what Java has done it. So Java has evolved itself in such a way, Java has provided its own feature in such a way, so that even if you are going to implement your solution on high-end hardware support system, like it is on multi-processor, multi-threading, it will work very fine. It will utilize all the hardware resources in a such a way, so that you will get a better result. Okay, that's also the reason, like, no programming language is still able to replace the Java as on today. Fine. So I believe you got to know a lot about Java. Any query from your side with respect to Java? I mean, with basic understanding its importance. I hope it's good. Can I move ahead for any query? So who was the father of Java? Who is known as famous as father of Java? Mr. James Gosling, like I told you some time back. And James Gosling has also written a lot of books. I'll also let you know what are the top books for reading the Java. Fine. So I mean, maybe at the end, or maybe at the end of this session only, I'll let you know what are the Java books, if you want to make your career in Java, that you can prefer. Fine. So I'm just moving ahead. Features of Java and Java versus C++. So, and Java versus Python also I have tried to cover up. See, platform independent, that is the best feature of Java that has made it popular. Fine. So anyone who is aware of this platform independent feature of Java, because whenever you are going to start your career in Java, you always get to know and get to hear about this platform independent things of Java that is more popular. What do you mean by platform independent?
Means you can compile on one platform and run that program on any other platform.
Correct. So in general, see, whenever we build a solution, definitely it is compiled and then we package it to run it on production only, right? To run it on any machine. I mean, so what do you mean by platform? What we are trying to say by the platform meaning?
Any particular OS.
Any particular operating system. Fine. So, okay, here comes my first question. Um, you have created your Java programming solution. Java, I mean, you have created a solution using the Java programming language, and So that you have created on Windows. Okay. So will that run on Linux?
Yes.
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 Okay. So the main question comes over here. Suppose I have created a new operating system. Okay. I mean, you can say Prashant operating system. Will your Java program run on my operating system as well?
No,
Why so?
because JVM should be integrated with your operating system.
Exactly. Very good answer. So, I mean, platform independent of Java programming language is only limited to your Java virtual machine. So, whenever you want to create any language as a platform independent, okay. So now you got the answer. Like if you have to make .NET also as a platform independent, what you will do? You will create I mean runtime environment for .NET as well on multiple operating systems. So Java, that's what Java has done always. Whenever a new operating system is there, Java will create its own Java virtual machine and it will get it integrated with operating system. Fine. So when we say platform independent, it always have a condition. The way you said, it should be having a Java virtual machine for that particular platform as well. Then only it will be platform independent. Fine. So as I told you, extensive libraries are there. I mean, if I talk today, I mean, you have to do multi-threading on multiprocessor as well. You have to write any OCR, I mean, scanning kind of thing, scanner kind of coding you'll have to do, or you'll have to integrate it with multiple hardwares as in kind of CCTV camera, or I mean, any solution you want to build. So extensive libraries are there. You need not to write everything from scratch. You just find out that library and then call that method. However, Java is better than Python because as I told you, it gives you a flexibility of doing multiple configuration as a requirement, and you'll have to write some code over there. However, Python you just pass any parameter and your job is done. So third important parameter is over here is garbage collection. As I told you, like in C++, C++ is good programming language, and uh, but as you told, like platform independence thing that we get from Java, and also a kind of memory management that explicitly will have to do a lot in C++. You'll have to create so many pointers. You'll have to handle it by yourself. If you miss anything by mistake, then memory leakage chances are more over there. So garbage collection, I mean, a kind of utility that has already been provided by the Java, where you create so many objects, but you need not to worry about clearing the memories. Fine, you need not to write any explicit method with respect to the object that you are going to create, and then you'll have to delete it or dereference it so that it get deleted from the memory as well. It should not be taking the extra space. So that internally is being taken care by the Java. So I'll go in detail also more in garbage collection, how it actually does it. I'll let you know whenever it will come to that topic. Multi-threaded, as I told you, I mean in today's also Java is evolving a lot with respect to multiprocessor and multi-threading. Lot of more concurrency packages has come. I mean, as you, if you have gone through about the multi-threading locking system also, I mean nowadays we have the explicit locking kind of features also in multi-threading environment. And if I'll talk about object-oriented programming, I mean, definitely, I mean, nowadays any programming language that we are developing or creating, or any popular language that you talk, that is must as in kind of object-oriented programming. So we'll go in more detail in object-oriented programming as well. I mean, you all know the features of object-oriented programming as in kind of abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, right? But I will let you know to visualize itself in coding, because from the coding perspective, when I ask any I mean interviewee about to let me know, to let me realize this object oriented concept from the coding perspective, then they are not able to answer me. They will always tell you theoretical concept everywhere. Fine. I mean, if you talk about them abstraction or encapsulation, they'll say just mug up whatever the theory they have mug up. They'll just let you know. But if I talk about in code, you just show me it in a code how it is abstraction, how it is encapsulation, where it is polymorphism or inheritance. Then they are unable to answer. So that also will go through. Now, if I talk about distributed, I mean, nowadays, if you talk, I mean, as you see, you must be, or I mean, maybe using this Instagram, Facebook, Amazon, right? I mean, all over the world, everyone is using that, and we cannot store everything in one database. and we cannot also manipulate, or we can do the computation only on one server. So we definitely have to have, I mean, more servers from application server point of view, web server point of view, database server point of view also, and we'll have to create multiple, I mean, replicas as well, right? So everything is distributed now. So in the distributed environment, Java is, I mean, performing well, and also it is robust, secure, and I would say also it is easy to learn. I mean, there is some perception that is going on nowadays, like Java is very difficult. However, I'll let you know that Java is very easy. I mean, if your concepts are clear, I mean, you will never ever face any problem. The way, I mean, as I told you, if you go in C++, it is very deep. If you go in Python, it is very high level. But Java is in middle, so it makes your task very easy to understand each and everything from implementation point of view and from the requirement point of view as well. Okay, so moving to understand the I mean difference between Java virtual machine, Java runtime environment, and Java development kit. So I mean, Java virtual machine is a simple thing. Where whatever the programming language, I mean, solution that you have built using the Java programming language, all the solution get compiled, and after getting it compiled, the bytecode get generated. Okay, so that compiled code we call it as a bytecode, and that runs on Java virtual machine. So whenever you package any solution that you have made using the Java programming language, your bytecode only will go from one operating system to other operating system as in package, or maybe it get deployed on application server as in package, right? So there, whenever you just need to run your solution, you only need a Java virtual machine, nothing else. Fine. And if I talk about Java runtime environment, so if you have used any Java libraries, as I told you, so suppose you have written a code for file reading and writing, so you must be using some kind of utilities. So then you must be having the JRE. So Java runtime environment will be must over there, because it will be using utilizing the libraries and APIs of Java platform. So that's how we started calling it as a platform. So solution you have built using Java programming language, but it is running on a Java platform. Fine. And if I talk about Java development kit, you have to develop a solution using the Java development kit. So it will be always there on programmer machine only, on developer machine only. JDK need not to be over there in a production site where your solution is only running. So from solution perspective, your package perspective, the way you are having only exe file, right? When you install any software in your Windows operating system, you need to have only exe file. So similar way, you need to have your package solution in a jar package or a war package. I'll talk about the Java archive and web archive. Just simply you can understand Java archive means Java solution, and web archive means web application solution that is built using the Java programming language, and a platform, JRE platform, with on the machine where you want to run your solution. So JRE will itself have JVM by default. Okay, so this is the difference between JVM, JRE, JDK. So I mean, in the interview, if anyone will ask you, I mean, do I need a JDK on the production hosting side? That also you are now able to answer. You know the importance of JRE and JVM, fine. And now with respect to bytecode, I'll just go through the hands-on as well, and let us, I mean, understand classes, objects, and everything. So I mean, how you will create the first Java code, and we'll understand object oriented programming concept, classes, object, class loaders, variable methods, everything. So I mean, if we have to create first Java program, so it does not need uh, a specific ID. You can create a Java program on Notepad as well, but you will need Java development kit. As I told you, any developer or programmer will have to have a Java development kit. This Java development kit will help you to compile your code. So if you see over here, uh, I mean, uh, Java C that you see over here, using Java C we compile the code. So that comes in JDK only. So if you won't have the JDK, you cannot compile your code, and that will all the tools that you see over here, that will be inside the bin folder. Okay, so it is must for you to install the JDK first. So I mean, if you'll have to install the Java, that I mean, all you do, I told you, you need to prefer the OpenJDK. Okay, so you will go over there in OpenJDK, like 11 for Windows is there. So here you can see, I mean, OpenJDK versions, and you can see all the versions over here. You can install it from here. OpenJDK belongs to Red Hat community actually. So here you can see like OpenJDK 17 is also there. I mean 15 or whatever you want, that you can go over there. If you want to install Java 8, so that also you can search, and you can see like from Oracle also you can go and install that Java particular version as well. But as I told you, like Java 18, 17, 15 version will be there for Oracle also, but from Java 8 version onwards, Oracle has made it mandatory to buy the licenses. So if you are going to download anything with respect to Oracle, maybe from the development point of view it is okay for you to download and do those things, but if you want to build your solution, you are making any project that is the kind of solution for any of your customers, then you don't make it in Oracle until unless you are, I mean, want to buy the license and then you want to implement it. You are getting the that kind of fees from your client also, I mean, to buy the licenses. So then you can go ahead and then implement it. So here you can go and you can just download it, and once you download like exe file, you will do the execution, and once it is installed, then maybe you can see over here in this, I mean, if C directory is there, in the C programming, you will go to program files, you will see a Java over there. Or you can go to command prompt, and you just, if you will type Java, you should be able to see something is running for Java. If there won't be Java, then it will say that command it cannot understand. Like suppose I typed here anything. So anything is not recognized as an internal or external command. So how operating system actually understand whatever you are typing over here? Like suppose I am typing Python. Okay, so it is able to understand something related to Python. It is giving me some options to use with respect to Python, right? So it is, see, Python 3 version has come because it is able to understand the Python is installed in your operating system. But if I type anything, then it is not able to understand, right? If I talk about similar way, Java version, so it is able to tell me this Java 15 version you have installed. So, but the question over here, how operating system is able to understand Java but not able to understand anything? So can anyone answer me this one? Because it will set a base for you all for any programming language or anything that you want to start on your laptop as in development. So it will set a base for you. So why Java? How operating system is recognizing the Java? Only when you have installed the Java, that is fine for you. Will it run?
Sir, we are actually mentioning the class path and setting the path source variable.
Okay. Uh, Fine. So you mean to say path and class path. So when I
Yeah.
install the Java programming language, will it set path and class path by default, and then only this operating system is able to understand?
No, actually, we are supposed to set
Set
manually.
set manually. Yeah, correct. Because see, if you install the Java, so then this Java cannot run for anywhere. Like as of now, I am in this directory C user 91945, but I need to go to that Java folder where the Java is installed. Then I need to go to bin folder. From there only, because all the tools are there present in that bin directory only, then only Java will run. But as you all said, we'll have to set the path, and then only this Java will be, I mean, recognized as in the operating system to work. But I want to have a one more query over here. You all said like path and class path you need to set. What is the difference between path and class path? If I install the Python, if I install the .NET, if I install any language that is more popular nowadays, like suppose Scala, do I need to set path and class path over there also? or it is only specific to Java only? Anyone?
Sir, we are writing in the chat box.
Okay.
Also, we can't see your entire screen. We can just see the PPT but not the CMD.
Oh, okay. 1 second. Are you able to see full screen now? Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I was asking the question path and set path. Okay, need to set the path in Python 2, need to do in every language. Okay, so we need to set path and class path both or only path? Okay, so path is specific to any language. Okay, I mean, path will tell the operating system whatever the programming language that you have installed, how it is going to operate with that. Okay, so if you go to path, if you see over here one more thing, I mean, what is the difference between user variable and system variable? If you set a path in user variable and if you set a path in system variable, what is the difference? Okay, anyone would like to answer, or shall I go ahead to answer?
System variables can be used by everyone, and user variable is for profiles.
Okay, but one more difference is there. If you set the I mean system variable, I mean suppose you have already opened the command prompt and then you set the user variable, then automatically it won't be visible to you, so you'll have to restart the command prompt as well. And one more thing, if you go to path and then you will see Java home is also there. Fine. So any difference, like suppose if I set the Java home and I won't set the path, will it also done by the operating system?
No, it won't.
Okay. Okay, so then coming to main thing, if you see the path, I mean, so many path I have set over here. You can see Java I have not mentioned over here in the user variable, but if you see in the system variable, then I have mentioned Java over here. And uh, if you need to run multiple versions of Java, suppose you have installed Java 11 also, you have installed Java 8 also, you have installed Java 15 also. Okay, and then you set the path for everyone, then which one will be picked by the operating system? Will it pick every version of Java?
The latest one.
Okay, so that will come like in the hierarchy, first one whatever will come, that will be picked by the operating system. So whenever you have to run with multiple Java environment, so there you need to do some switching. Okay, so suppose you want to go ahead with the Java 11 only, then you move this 15 to downwards. Okay, make it at a last and Java 11 will be preferred. If you want to run your code with Java 15, then you make it up. Fine. So this is the way we will have to set the priority and preferences. Fine. Now if I'll go to this bin folder. So here if you see multiple DLL files are there. DLL files are there because this JDK whatever we have installed, that is for Windows operating system. If you install in Linux, then you will see multiple batches file over there. And similarly, if you see what are the tools that you are able to see as in batch files over here, right? So I mean jar is there. Jar will help you to make the Java archive. Similar way, Java P is there, Java C is there, Java Doc is there, Java is there. So these tools are present over here, which will actually help you to Java C, help you to compile your code to bytecode. Java will load your bytecode to your Java virtual machine. So these tools are present over here. Similar way, multiple libraries are there. Library, if you see, common libraries will be here for your OpenJDK, and configuration files will be over here. But you just need to, need not worry much about it. But bin folders, you can just go through here. What all the tools are present over here with respect to OpenJDK or maybe Oracle JDK you will use. Then also you will have to go to inside the bin folder. So path is only with respect to, as I told you, path is with respect to that particular programming language. But class path, if I'll talk about class path, it is only specific to Java. It is not related to Python. It is not related to .NET. Fine. So why do we need class path? Similar way, as I told you, like if you go inside the bin folder only, you are able to run the Java program inside the bin folder. But if you set the path, you will be able to run Java from anywhere. So similar way, if you will create any Java programming language program and you want to run it from anywhere, you want to compile it from anywhere, you want to launch it from anywhere, instead of going to that specific folder only, then you need to set the class path. So class path will help your Java virtual machine to find out that particular class to load in Java virtual machine from which all location. Fine. So class path is only specific to your Java programming language, and that's how, when you use the editor, if you use suppose like STS or Eclipse, right, it will set the class path automatically by itself. So you never have to worry about setting the class path by yourself. But suppose you are creating your this Java program on a notepad, you don't have editor due to memory issue, you don't want to install anything else, then you need to have the class path set. Other than or you want to run it, then you will have to go to that specific folder and then you need to run it. So that is with respect to basic of Java. And if you'll ask me which one you should be preferring, Notepad or IDE, you already know you need to prefer the IDE only. There are multiple IDEs nowadays available for doing the development in Java. IntelliJ IDEA is there. Eclipse, most popular, NetBeans is there, and this nowadays STS is also there. So if you'll talk me, what organization prefer to work on it? Some of the organization that I have seen, they prefer IntelliJ IDEA, and some of the organization nowadays prefer STS, because every Java platform or any Java solution that you are going to build nowadays for enterprise organization, you must be using the Spring, and Spring itself has created a better platform on the top of Eclipse. So Eclipse is a base for STS, so they are using STS. So STS and IntelliJ IDEA both are very popular nowadays. I use STS personally, and nowadays also Visual Basic is becoming popular because it is lightweight. So there is no restriction with respect to using any IDE, but some organization prefer anything else. Or even though if organization is preferring STS or IntelliJ IDEA, or they won't bind you to use the Visual Basic. You can use Visual Basic as well, because it is important just to build the solution, right? So suppose if you have to install the STS, similar way you can go to Chrome and you can just search and download uh, this STS from the Spring site. Download STS for Windows. Okay, you can go to Tools Spring, and here you can find out the Spring tools. Okay, so here you can see Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever the operating system that you have, that you can install, that is built on the top of Eclipse only. So you want to use Eclipse separately, that is also your choice. And and Visual Studio Code also, if you want to use, you want to integrate your Spring tool with Visual Studio, that also you can. Fine. Let us use STS. Let us create a new Java project or Java package. So how you will start over here? Like you can either click on project, you can click on Java project. You just name it anything, learning. Okay. Here, if you see, you will get a option to choose your particular Java runtime environment. So because I already have 15 and 11, I prefer 15. So I'll select 15. If you will select anything else, then if you won't have that JRE or JVA, then it will create a problem, or you'll have to set the path and by setting it. Fine. You'll have to configure that. And what do you mean by Java SE, Java EE? See, Java SE is simple for doing your Java development on of a simple programming languages. But if you have to build anything on for an enterprise edition, like you want to use EJB, then Java EE was preferred. But nowadays, I'll let you know everything is being developed on Java SE only, because the dependency of EJB or enterprise Java being, that is nowadays being replaced by the Spring only. Spring has provided its such a kind of features related to transactions and dependency injection. I'll let you know more about this in such a way, like you don't have to use an extra enterprise libraries of Sun Microsystem or Oracle. You just use Spring, and you just use your standard edition of Java, and you will be able to run every transaction in much better way, use dependency injection kind of thing, entity related things also, using the Spring only. Fine. So here you will set your Java runtime environment, and you just do next. This is the default location for you. Here if you see at the down, there is an option to create module info.java file. So that came actually in Java 9. Java 9 has given you feature to create a solution in multiple modules as well. So don't worry about that. Actually, it will make you a lot of confusion only, but you can just think it as a kind of different submodules that can have a kind of manifest file, and they can talk to each other. And don't get it confused with microservices as well. I mean, if you want to know about microservices and the difference between API and web service, that also I can let you know. Okay, and then you will finish it, and you can see a learning project is created here. You need to do first thing, you'll have to create a new package. Inside the package, it will be inside the source folder only, and then you'll have to create a class. So from here only, suppose you are extending any super class, you are creating a child class, and you have already created some parent class. So that also you can browse from here. Suppose you want to extend this class from anything. So you can just type it, and this option will come over here to select a super class. You can easily extend it. By default, it is always a Java object. Java.lang.object will always be a super class of my main. So if you'll go inside the object class also, there will be lot many default methods will be there, like equals, hash code, cloning, everything will come by default in the new class that you are going to create. However, they will not be visible to you, but we'll understand what does that mean also. And similarly, if you want to add any interface, that also option you will get an ID to add from here only. I super, like anything that you want to search, if that interface is available, that you can implement from here. You can just select here public static environment. It will create a new uh, your class with public static voidment method. So now we'll understand why do we must require this public static voidment over here, and why it start from here only, what is the importance of this public static void main. And also just with respect to some shortcuts, if you want to create some variables, I'll discuss about some access specifier and what does it mean also. So here suppose you are creating ID also, so you want to create some getter setter, so you just right click over here. Okay, that's what it will give you advantages in using the IDs. So you get the option of creating the getters and setter. Easily you can get it generated. So it will ease your task to create multiple things over here, right? So now I'll come to main thing, public static void main. So tell me one thing, if while anyone aware why we need public static void main only, and in this format only, why we need to run it? And do we have some improvement in latest version of Java where you need not to, even though if you will have to print anything, we'll also understand about this system.out.print. So suppose I need to run this program, run as Java application. So what it will do, see, it has gone inside the public static void main method. What you have written to print something learning from start, and then these things is printed. So if I'll change the keyword over here, suppose I write static public void main, fine. Will it also run or not?
It might give some error.
Okay, then let us try. I have written static public void main, and then I'll try to run it. See, it is running. Why so? So this simple example will set your base from starting. So when you are creating any method, even though that is main method, even though that is suppose display method, simple display method. See what I have done here, even though the ID was showing the error, when I am going to type the name of the method, it is must to write the return type just before that. Fine. So this is the actual signature of method. So it means when I'm writing main method, the void is actually the return type. Void means nothing to return. And if I'll type here int, and it means like you'll have to return integer from here. So this is the main base of your method signature when you are going to write in Java. And before this, you write anything, static, public, void, in any sequence order, it will run. You write public static, you write final over here, you do anything. Okay, so any access specifier or any modifier that you know in Java, you write in any order before this return type, it will run. So that is the first thing, that is the first base thing that you should be knowing. Fine. So when we type any method, you must be having the return type before that, and before that you write any access specifier or any modifier in any sequential order. It does not matter to Java. Fine. So I mean if I write here private, will it run or not?
No, it won't run.
Okay. If I write here int, will it run or not?
It needs some return value.
Okay. Suppose I have written int over here, and here.
No, it won't run. It will throw error.
Okay. So let us see. I mean, why I'm doing this, because you all also need to do in such a way. See here, if you see, it is not giving me option to run the Java application. However, if I write here void, it will give me the option to run the Java application. Okay. So I mean, Java virtual machine is making it mandatory to understand any program as in Java when you will have this void main only. And inside this braces also, I mean, array of string, I mean, this is written in such a way in a Java virtual machine. Whenever the class is going to load first time, it will first search for this void method, main method, and array of string argument only, and then only it will start execution from over here. So this is a kind of base for you, and you also understand like method signature as well, and how you need to create the variable. We will go more in deep. We'll understand integer, float, double, boolean, everything. But this was just to start, right? So, and how you need to print anything. This is the way to print anything. System.out print. When you will type over here in ID, you just need to type syso control space enter, and automatically it can be written. Fine. And why we need to write in such a way? This is a kind of package where we are getting a print writer object of out, which is calling a print method. So this also we'll understand later in deep. So as of now, you can just understand print ln is a method which is supposed to write anything that you are going to pass over here. Fine. Print ln method is of out object. Out object is a class of print writer, which is inside a system package. Fine. So I mean package system print writer is a class, utility class you can say, to print anything, and you call print method passing variable or passing string to print it. Fine. So this is the base to print anything in the Java program. Now public and private, protected, everything also we'll understand more in detail. So let me go to slide and let us talk about class loader. So there are three type of class loader. So class loader mean, as I told you over here also, I mean when I've written here int main, so I mean the Java virtual machine could not give us option even to run the Java program. Why? Because it is not treating that as an entry point Java thing. So what is actually happening whenever you are loading any class, even though from the class path itself also, uh, there are class loaders defined. So these class loader actually help to load your class to Java virtual machine. When your bytecode is already compiled, right? So your bytecode will be loaded to Java virtual machine using the class loaders only. So there are three type of class loaders. One is bootstrap class loader, then extension, then system. So bootstrap class loader will load all your like by default Java virtual machine related classes. Extension class loader, some additional libraries are there to run your Java program within the JRE, that also will be uploaded from the extension. And then system class loader is actually referring to your class path. So whatever it will get in your class path, those classes will be uploaded. Classes mean those bytecode will be uploaded to Java virtual machine. So whenever I am compiling this first, I mean my main.java, it is actually being compiled to your dot class as well. So if you'll go over here in System Explorer, sorry, it will come in other folder. So see over here, dot class path over the file is over here by default in this STS environment. When I'm creating this learning project, it is by default setting the class path for your bytecode. Fine. So system class loader will actually load your actual my main dot class. Fine. So these class loader are most important. And suppose you have not set any your class path, if you will place your my main dot class inside the extension folder also, then also your class will run. Okay, so one extension folder is also there in a JVM library. There also you can place, but I mean that is for default system libraries only, that is related to the Java virtual machine. So suppose one day, suppose in a future you work in Oracle inside the Java, I mean project only, where you need to build something new for new feature that you need to add on. So those libraries that you are going to create as an JRE or any library that you are going to create, that you will have to add in ext folder, extension folder. Fine. So that anybody in all over the world, if they want to utilize that feature, they will be, that will be automatically loaded in Java virtual machine. Fine. So these are the importance of class loader. So now I'll come to this constructor initializer and static initializer feature as well. However, you will ask me, I have not covered access specifier and even though that variables primitive. So if you want to know about this variable in detail, I'll come after this constructor and initializer, static initializer, because whatever I'm going to cover up over here, automatically it is going to help you to understand to make any Java program. So I want to know, I mean most of you must have heard about this constructor. So do you know what is constructor and what is the difference between initializer and static initializer? I mean, I'm covering everything in a way so that your concepts are clear, and because these things are being actually asked in interviews, because we implement the same thing in organization in this way only. So that is why I was asking this difference between static, public, void main, why it is entry point, how you are doing in IDE, right? Because even though if you are not able to answer these basic queries and you are not aware about these class loaders, so there would be a doubt like to know a basic concept of Java as well, and even though with respect to path and class path as well. Fine. So let me know, I mean anyone aware of difference between constructor initializer and static initializer? How do we create it?
For constructor, we give the name same as the class name.
We give the name as the same as class name. Okay. So suppose I am in my main.java. Okay. And here if I have written void, I mean private void my main, right? So same name I have given over here. Is it a constructor?
Sir, constructor do not have a return type.
Good.
Return type.
Okay, good. So I don't have a return type. So now is it a constructor? Now is it a constructor?
It is private, so we won't be able to make object with it.
Okay, if I'll make it private, so you won't be able to make an object. That is fine, but I want to know, is it a constructor or not? Even though it is a private.
Yes, sir, it is a constructor.
Okay, so you told like I won't be able to make an object of my main if I'll create a private constructor. So let us try.
Sir, not able to see the screen.
Oh, I mean I've shared everything. Oh, okay. You able to see now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here I have mentioned this my main, as you told, like name should be the same, class name, I mean method name should be the same as in class name. We should not be having any return type over here in the constructor, but I have written private over here also. So I mean, is it a constructor or not? So you said it is a constructor, but we cannot create the object of it because it is a private constructor. So I'm just trying to make an object. Okay, so let us create an object of this. How we create object? Using the new keyword only. So when I create a new keyword object, what will happen? A new object new object of my main will be created inside the heap, and one m variable will be there which will be referring to my main object. Okay, so you said like I won't be able to create the object. It has not given me any compilation error. So if I'll run, then will I get the error, runtime error? Let us see. I haven't got any error as well. So I'm able to create the object of my main even though the private constructor is also there. Okay, so I mean, why I'm coming to these everything, I want to let you all know, like whenever you understand any concept, whatever you read from the books, you must be trying that. Fine, I mean by doing the practicals as well. Now you will see I won't be able to call this my main method when I'll create a new Java class. So here if I'll write the constructor, also you can generate the constructor from here as well, right? I mean, if you want ever, see generate constructor using fields, right? From superclass as well. Suppose I have created any field over here. I mean, in general, you need to create all the fields using the private keyword only, right? Private int my val. So if I select source, generate constructor, Fine. So see, automatically a parameterized constructor is created over here. Fine. So I mean, let us comment this. We'll understand my main too. So the concept that you were telling, if I'll create the private constructor, then I won't be allowed to call that object. That will only happen if you will try to call that. We are in the same package, so you will, if you will try to call that main to object over here, see, now you are getting the compilation error. So when you create a private constructor, you can create an object within that class, but not outside that class. Fine. And it is always mandatory, I mean, to make it public, because whenever you are going to create any constructor for any class in any organization, so anyhow you are going to call that particular I mean, you are going to create that instance from outside only, because there won't be anything inside one class only. But you cleared your concept, right? If you are going to create a private constructor, I mean, you can still create the object, but inside that class only. Fine. So what happened when you call the public constructor? I mean, when the class is loaded, when this constructor get called? When the class is loading, right? So this is called as default constructor. Why do we call it default constructor? I mean, as you see in my main too also, I mean, parameterized constructor is also created. Fine. So, but we call this first constructor as an, I mean, which is having no argument, as a default constructor. Why do we call it as default constructor?
Because it doesn't take any parameters, first thing, and the second thing is, even if we don't declare it, Java will automatically declare this constructor.
Okay, so I mean, first you said like it is not having any argument. I mean, then we will call it no argument constructor. But the second answer that you gave, that is correct one. By default, Java will create the constructor. I mean, default constructor. That's how it called. No argument constructor will be created by Java by default if we won't define it. Fine. So let us see also. I mean, that what you have read in books, is that correct or not? So if I am not going to create a default constructor over here, my main two. So I believe this default constructor should be created, right? So let us see over here. It is giving me compilation error. So it means default constructor is not created. However, we have read like default constructor should, I mean, it is created by Java automatically. So why it is not happening over here?
It is already defined,
No, it is not defined. See
but that public main too.
that public main too. So Java will define by itself, right? I have commented this thing.
Okay. Sir, but we have manually defined that this main too. Then Java won't will define that default constructor.
Which one? This one you are saying?
Sir, I think
This is
there is a
parameter.
delay in screen.
Okay, sorry.
If it means that if you created a parameterized constructor, it will delete that default constructor. That won't be applied.
No, it will not delete. I mean, just to correct over here. I mean, so whenever parameterized constructor will be there, then by default, no argument constructor will not be created by the Java. So if I'll comment this, I will not create any constructor. Then you will see over here, this error should be resolved. My main sorry. So let us see once again. See, when I have a private, parameterized constructor over here, then a public constructor is not created. I mean, whenever public constructor will be created, you won't be able to see it because Java will create it internally. But here, if you see, error you will be getting. There is no argument constructor. But if I'll comment it out, so I have also not created any public constructor, but my error is resolved. Why? Because default constructor is being taken care by the Java. So when we say a default constructor will be created by Java, it will there is also a condition. It will only be created if we won't define any constructor by ourselves. Fine. So if we are going to define any parameterized constructor, then the default no argument constructor will not be created by Java itself. Fine. We'll have to create the no argument constructor as well by our side. Okay. So this concept is also clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, automatically you can understand what does it mean by no argument constructor or default constructor or parameterized constructor. So constructor are two types that you automatically got to know, and it is not going to have any return type. It is always going to have public keyword. If you are going to create a private keyword, then it will be called from that particular class only where you have created this constructor, but not from outside any class. Similarly, from not from any outside package as well. So now I'll come to this side. Constructor. Yeah, initializer and static initializer. Now tell me one thing. If I have given here constructor public, see. Now tell me one thing. This constructor that I have written here to print, will it get printed first or learning from start will get printed first? Because everything is going to start from here. Whenever the after the main method, that is, after the main method only, the execution get start. So this learning from start will get print or when this constructor will be printed?
Sir, it will only be printed when we create an object.
It will only be printed when we create an object. Fine. And why so? Because it will call the constructor only at the time of creation of object. So here learning from start, good. Yeah, it is printed. Now if I'll call the constructor of this, constructor, I'm creating the object of my main. So what it will do, it will go inside the constructor. Fine. When it will go inside the constructor and it will print whatever you have written over inside the constructor. So what we actually do in constructor, we try to initialize the values. Default value we try to initialize in the constructor only if we have to create it. And one more thing, just would like to know why it is being called, because when you are calling the my main m is equal to new my main, then your class is being loaded. Class is being loaded by class loader. So whenever a class is being loaded, then what it will do first, it will initialize that object. So initialization of that object, whatever you are going to create, suppose I am going to create two objects over here. So that another object, whenever it is going to be created, then also this instantiation that is going to happen for that object, it will be calling the constructor every time. Fine. So in that constructor time, what it is doing, whatever the object you are going to create in the heap, by default some variable values will be assigned. So in general, we don't assign values here as an variable, but we in general define the variable values always in constructor. So that at the time of instantiation of object, when it is being created inside the heap, values will be given over there. Now I'll ask you one more thing. Is there anything that can also run before constructor? As I told you, like initializer and static initializer is there also. We will understand the difference. But do you know, are you all also aware of this initializer or static initializer as well?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So, before constructor, there are two things that can also run. That is known as static initializer. So, static initializer we create using these curly braces only, static you write and then curly braces, and initializer only this thing. So this is actually initializer and this is static initializer. So this static initializer will be called only once at the time of loading class. And this initializer will be called the way your constructor is being called whenever the instantiation will happen, then only it will be called, but it will be called always before constructor. So let us see, we'll try to print something over here. Okay, so we have created two objects m and m1. Let us run it. So you see here, static init is being called only once time, right? And initializer is always being called before constructor, only init then constructor. So when I'm creating m, so m is then also at the time of instantiation only init and then constructor. Similarly, when I'm creating the instance of m1, then also only init and constructor. So this is the difference between constructor, initializer and static initializer. Now the important point come over here, when do we use it? When we already have the constructor. So constructor is actually being used for initializing the default variable of that instance. Initializer and static initializer are being used when you are trying to do one, like static initializer, I'll tell you first, when you have to do some JDBC connectivity, like you are using a database, you need to create a default pool by some size. So only one time you will have to create, fine. So at that time you will use static initializer where you will define that JDBC connectivity. Okay, so there you will do this pooling kind of thing and sizing kind of thing. I mean, in an organization you will see the already made code, then you will be easily able to understand. I am letting you know in advance. And in the initializer also, I mean, there are something related to application servers and web server and caching related things are also there that are being taken care. So I mean, just for your knowledge, I just let you know. So these are the difference between class loader, initializer and static initializer. Fine. So I hope that information is also helpful to you. So is it okay for everyone?
Yes, sir, but why the initializer? Only initializer is used.
Here, this one?
Yes.
Yeah, so anything that you want to call before constructor, sometime like I told you, like for cache related thing. Okay, so I mean, we don't want to initialize some of the variables. Actually, I'll talk about the Redis server. What in general used to happen, like in our organization, when we do a calling for a client to application server. So first what happened, actually we have a load balancer, and then after the load balancer we have a web server. In this web server we have a Redis that is called as a cache. So what we do actually, if anything is static that is coming to us with respect to images, with respect to PDF files, I mean no dynamic variable values are there, then we call just initializer, and then automatically this caching get applied, and automatically it won't go, the call don't go up to the application server, and performance is good. So there only this result will go back to client, and it won't instantiate everything once again because nothing is dynamic over there. So what we do in general, we do call the initializer and constructor and rest of the thing, but because those static things are already being defined with initializer, so if there are 100 suppose objects are there, so then caching will help you to improve the performance with respect to static files, not with respect to dynamic thing where every time you are initializing a new value. Okay, I mean it gives you advantage to run before the constructor as well. So I mean, as per your requirement or need, you can implement it. Like I told, for first time JDBC connectivity thing, you use static variable, static initializer, but there are many things with respect to application servers. I mean, when you will create a application or you will go to any organization, you will find out a better way of implementing this initializer that has been implemented. So maybe with a I mean, whatever I'm telling you, maybe it will go as a kind of bouncer. You are not able to relate, but especially it is for caching thing, and also for initializing some of the I mean special configuration of application server or web server in a web application way. And when you will use mobile based application, when you will implement Android apps also, then also if you try to utilize some local database, right, then also you can utilize the initializer as well, and that is always instance initializer. Okay, so I mean, we'll start with access specifier, but we'd like to have some break. I mean, let us have 5 or 10 minute break, whatever you all suggest. Let us have a break of 10 minutes or 5 minutes. 10 minutes, okay, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us connect after 10 minutes. What is the exact time as of now? 10:34, 10:45. Let us all connect at 10:45. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
मी आता काय खायला मला फार खराब आहे बाबा. खराब थोडा वेळ आणि थोडा वेळानंतर
ठीक आहे.
मग काका कॉल करतोय आता मला.
Students unmute.